Hi, I'm Helen. 3 months ago, I became a widow at 38, and I'm still trying to figure out how to exist in a world without Marcus. The morning started like all my mornings lately, waking up reaching for someone who isn't there. I shuffled to the bathroom cabinet where Marcus's watch box sat. Sometimes I just needed to hold something of his. The vintage Rolex had been his grandfather's, then his father's, then his. 3 generations of love wrapped in stainless steel and gold. Except today, when I opened the box, it was empty. That's weird, I mumbled, checking the bedroom dresser. Not there either. My heart started racing. That watch never left the house unless it was on Marcus's wrist. I called Diana, Marcus's sister, who'd been helping me sort through his things. Hey, Diana, it's me. Have you seen Marcus's Rolex? The one from his grandfather? Oh, we were organizing his dresser yesterday while you were at therapy. Maybe Greg moved it somewhere safer. You know how forgetful you've been lately? Her tone was sympathetic, but somehow off. Still, she was right about me being forgetful. Grief does that. I'll ask Greg and call you back, she said. Diana and Greg had appointed themselves my official grief handlers after the funeral. Showing up unannounced, rearranging furniture, sorting through Marcus's belongings, to spare me the pain. I'd been too numb to protest. My phone rang 2 hours later, but it wasn't Diana. Is this Helen Donovan? Yes, who's this? This is Carl from downtown Pawn. Look, this is awkward, but a couple came in today trying to sell a vintage Rolex. Real nice piece, but something felt off. The woman seemed nervous, and when I asked for proof of ownership, they got defensive. I checked the inscription. To William Forever Yours Margaret, 1958. They claimed it belonged to her brother who recently passed. My stomach dropped. That's my husband's watch. His grandfather William got it from his wife Margaret. I thought something wasn't right. I told them I needed to verify some details before purchasing and took down their info. The woman's name was Diana Donovan Pierce. The room started spinning. Marcus's sister and her husband were pawning his most precious possession? I still have the watch here, Carl continued. They got angry when I wouldn't give them cash on the spot, but I said I needed to run serial numbers first. Standard procedure. Thank you, Carl. Can you hold it for me? I'll be there in 30 minutes. I hung up and sat perfectly still, trying to process what was happening. Then I noticed Diana's social media post from this morning. Vacation countdown, 3 days. Cabo, here we come. #blessed. I remembered Greg complaining last week about their canceled trip because they were too broke after helping with Marcus's funeral expenses. Expenses I had fully reimbursed them for. My phone buzzed with a text from Diana. Greg says he hasn't seen the watch. Are you sure you didn't misplace it? You've been so scattered lately, sweetie. That's when everything clicked. All those times they'd been helping while I was out. The missing cufflinks I couldn't find last week. Marcus's coin collection that Diana suggested I must have put somewhere safe. They were stealing from me. From Marcus. Using my grief as cover to fund their vacation. My hands stopped shaking. The fog of grief that had surrounded me for months suddenly lifted, replaced by something else entirely. Clarity and rage. I drove straight to Diana and Greg's house with the pawn shop receipt Carl had given me. My hands were shaking as I pounded on their front door. Diana opened it with a forced smile. Helen! What a surprise! Is everything okay? No, everything is not okay. Where's Greg? He's in the living room. What's going on? I pushed past her and found Greg lounging on the couch, scrolling through his phone. Why were you trying to sell Marcus's Rolex at downtown Pawn? Greg's head snapped up, and Diana froze behind me. What are you talking about? We've been helping you organize, not stealing. I slapped the pawn shop receipt on their coffee table. The pawn shop owner called me. He has the watch. He has your names. He has your IDs on file. Diana's expression shifted from shock to concern. Oh, sweetie, you're confused. We were getting it appraised for insurance purposes. For your benefit. At a pawn shop? Without telling me? That's complete bull. Greg stood up, trying to look intimidating. Look, You've been a mess since Marcus died. We've been picking up your pieces for months. A little gratitude would be nice. Gratitude? For stealing from me? Diana placed her hand on my arm. Helen, grief can make people paranoid. Remember what your therapist said about... I yanked my arm away. Don't you dare. I talked to Carl. He told me everything. You two tried to sell it for cash. Quick cash for your Cabo trip, right? Their faces gave them away before they could answer. I trusted you. You were family. How many other things have you taken? We haven't taken anything. Greg, show her your phone. Show her we were looking up appraisers. Greg clutched his phone tighter. I don't have to prove anything. This is ridiculous. I pulled out my own phone and scrolled to Diana's Instagram. 3 days until Cabo. Funny, I remember Greg saying you had to cancel because you were broke after helping with funeral expenses. Expenses I reimbursed you for. Social media is just for show, Diana said, rolling her eyes. Everyone knows that. I'm calling the police. Greg stepped forward. Don't be dramatic. It was a misunderstanding. I left without another word and drove straight to the police station, where I met Detective Reynolds, a woman with tired eyes but a sharp gaze. So you believe your in-laws have been stealing from you while helping you organize after your husband's death? I know they have. They tried to pawn his Rolex today. Do you have proof of ownership? I have photos of Marcus wearing it, insurance documentation, the original box with paperwork. Detective Reynolds nodded. What else is missing? That question hit me hard. I hadn't thoroughly checked everything. I'm not sure yet. Start documenting. Take inventory of valuable items. Photos help. If you find more missing items, we can build a stronger case. I called my best friend Olivia on the way home. Those sneaky vultures. I never trusted Diana. Remember how she borrowed your designer purse at the Christmas party last year and returned it with a mysterious wine stain? I need your help, Liv. Can you come over and help me check everything? I'll be there in 20 with takeout and a notebook. Olivia arrived with Thai food and determination. We went room by room, checking drawers and cabinets. The evidence mounted quickly. Marcus's coin collection, his vintage cufflinks, 2 rare first edition books, and the small jade figurine his mother had given him were all missing. This is systematic, Olivia said, photographing empty spaces where items should have been. They've been doing this for weeks. And using my grief as cover. I felt sick. I've been so out of it, I didn't even notice. It's not your fault. But now we're going to make them pay. The next morning, I called Diana. I'm sorry about yesterday. I've been so emotional lately. It's okay, sweetie. Grief does strange things to people. You're right. I shouldn't have accused you. Would you and Greg still be willing to help me this weekend? There's so much of Marcus's stuff I still can't face alone. Of course. We're family. That's what we're here for. After hanging up, Olivia raised an eyebrow. That was disturbingly convincing. I learned from the best. Diana's been fake nice my entire marriage. We spent the afternoon setting up tiny cameras Olivia borrowed from her security-obsessed brother. One in Marcus's study, one facing his closet, and another overlooking the display cabinet in the living room. You're sure these will record clearly? Crystal clear, with sound. They'll never know. That Saturday, Diana and Greg arrived bright and early. We brought coffee and bagels, Diana chirped, setting down a tray. Thanks. I was thinking we could tackle the study today. I'm finally ready to sort through Marcus's papers. Perfect, Greg nodded. You know, you're looking better. More... together. I'm trying. Hey, aren't you guys leaving for Cabo soon? Diana shot Greg a quick glance. Just a small getaway, nothing fancy. You deserve it after everything you've done for me. I left them alone several times, pretending to take emotional breaks or make phone calls. The cameras caught everything. Greg pocketing Marcus's sterling silver letter opener, Diana carefully removing a rare baseball card from a folder and sliding it into her purse. On Sunday, Marcus's parents hosted a family dinner. I arrived early to help Martha, my mother-in-law, in the kitchen. I'm worried about you, dear. Diana mentioned you've been having... episodes. Episodes? Accusing people of things? Forgetting conversations? She said you even misplaced Marcus's watch and blamed her. My blood boiled, but I kept my expression neutral. Did she mention they're going to Cabo? Oh, yes, they're very excited. Greg got a big bonus at work. Greg worked at a struggling real estate office that hadn't given bonuses in 3 years. At dinner, Diana held court at the table. We're staying at that resort. You know, the one with the private cabanas? The Royal something? The Royal Mayan? Marcus's cousin Jake asked. That place is like $500 a night. Greg's bonus, Diana winked. Plus, we deserve some luxury after these hard months helping Helen. She'd be lost without us organizing everything. Speaking of organizing, I said sweetly. Diana, didn't you help me catalog Marcus's coin collection a few weeks ago? She faltered slightly. Yes. We put it somewhere safe, remember? Remind me where. I was looking for it yesterday. In the hall closet? In that blue box? There was no blue box. The coins had been in a leather binder with Marcus's initials embossed on it. I'll check again. Oh, and Greg, Marcus's father was asking about that signed baseball you helped me find a place for. Greg nearly choked on his wine. I think we left it in his display case. Actually, Marcus's father said, I was going to ask about that. I didn't see it when I was over last week. The dinner continued with me dropping little bait questions, watching them squirm and contradict themselves. Meanwhile, I recorded everything on my phone in my pocket. After dinner, Jake pulled me aside. Is everything okay? Diana told everyone you've been having grief-induced memory issues, but you seem sharp as a tack to me. She said what? To who exactly? Pretty much the whole family, and Marcus's old friends too. That explained why some friends had been treating me strangely, with that particular brand of caution reserved for the unstable. They weren't just stealing Marcus's things. They were stealing my credibility. 2 days before Diana and Greg's Cabo trip, I invited the entire family over for dinner, claiming I had an announcement about a memorial scholarship for Marcus. Everyone came. His parents, cousins, our mutual friends, and of course, the thieves themselves. I connected my laptop to the TV while Diana kept glancing at her watch. Can we speed this up? We still have packing to do. This won't take long. I clicked play. The screen showed Greg in Marcus's study, pocketing the letter opener while Diana kept watch at the door. Then Diana carefully removing the baseball card. The room went deadly silent. What is this? Marcus's father stood up, pointing at the screen. Security footage from my house. Watch. The next clip showed Diana going through my jewelry box, trying on my wedding earrings, a gift from Marcus, before putting them in her pocket. You've been recording us? Greg shouted. That's illegal! Not in my own home, it isn't. But you know what is illegal? Theft. I clicked through more clips while the family watched in shocked silence. Then I pulled out a folder. I've documented everything they've taken. The Rolex was just the final straw. Detective Reynolds, would you like to take over? The detective stepped forward from where she'd been sitting quietly in the corner. Diana and Greg Pierce, I have a warrant for your arrest on charges of grand theft. Diana lunged toward me. You ungrateful little... Jake caught her arm. Don't make it worse, Diana. She's lying. She's been mentally unstable since Marcus died. Tell them, Mom? Martha shook her head, tears streaming down her face. The baseball signed by Marcus's grandfather. How could you? Greg tried bolting for the door, but was blocked by Jake and 2 other cousins. Your flights to Cabo have been canceled, I said. The airline was very understanding when Detective Reynolds explained the situation. As the detective led them away in handcuffs, Diana screamed back at me. We were helping you. You were a mess. No one even likes you. You were just Marcus's wife. And you were just his sister. Funny how that works. After they left, Martha hugged me tightly. I'm so sorry we didn't see what was happening. They fooled everyone. They told you I was losing my mind. We should have known better. The next day, Carl from the pawn shop personally delivered the Rolex. Didn't feel right shipping something this meaningful. Thank you for calling me that day. You changed everything. Just did what anyone would do. But we both knew that wasn't true. With Detective Reynolds' help, I recovered most of the stolen items. They'd sold a few things online, but with the documentation I had, the buyers were legally obligated to return them. Diana and Greg accepted a plea deal: probation, restitution, and community service. Their dream vacation money went to legal fees instead. The family cut them off completely. One evening, Olivia came over with wine to celebrate. How does justice taste? Sweet, but also a little sad. I wish Marcus could have seen who his sister really was. He knew. That's why he left the watch to you, not her. I held the Rolex, feeling its weight and history. For the first time since Marcus died, I put it on my own wrist. It was too big, sliding loosely around my arm, but somehow it felt right. I finally had closure, not just from recovering what was stolen, but from protecting what Marcus had entrusted to me. Some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt after they burn. What would you have done if you were in Helen's position? Would you have exposed Diana and Greg publicly in front of the whole family, or handled it privately with just the police? And do you think their punishment was too lenient for betraying someone during their time of grief? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you enjoyed this revenge story, please hit the like button and subscribe for more stories like this one. Your support helps our channel grow.